Listen up. This is Denzel, and I'm here to hit you with truth. Life's a battlefield, and it don't play fair. You've seen it. Good folks grinding, pouring their hearts out, only to watch others skate by on cunning and connections. I've been there. Early in my career, rejection stung, doors slammed, dreams felt like distant stars. But I learned something real: money, success, respect. They don't come to the honest or the hardworking alone. They flow to those who play the game smart, who see the board clearly while others scramble. Money's not just cash, it's leverage, strategy, power. It's a game where the sharp outlast the loud, where discipline trumps desperation. I've fought, failed, and risen. And today, I'm giving you the playbook: 8 hard-earned lessons from the trenches. Drop this in your soul. I own the game. I win on my terms. Let's move. Walk into a room, and before you open your mouth, the world's already made up its mind about you. That's the game people judge fast, and they judge hard. I learned this early, back when I was auditioning, hungry for a break. I'd see actors stroll in, no better than me, but their energy. It screamed, "I belong here." They didn't beg for the role, they owned the room. That's when it hit me: your presence isn't just how you look, it's how you carry your worth. In the money game, if you let others set your value, you're already selling yourself short. You gotta project something undeniable, something that makes people pause and think, "This one's different. Let me break it down." I remember a time on a film set early in my career. The director tried to lowball me, assuming I'd jump at crumbs. I didn't argue or plead. I stood tall, looked him in the eye, and let my silence speak. I knew my craft, my grind, my worth. That calm confidence, it shifted the whole dynamic. He came back with a better offer, not because I demanded it, but because I projected it. That's the first rule: own your presence and you own your value. In the money game, perception is your currency before cash ever hits your hand. Whether you're pitching a deal, interviewing for a job, or building a business, how you show up sets the price tag. Walk in desperate, and they'll smell it. Talk too fast, over-explain, lower your rates before they ask. You're done before you start. But walk in, calm, deliberate, like you've got options. They lean in. They wonder what you know that they don't. That's power. It's not arrogance, it's assurance. It's knowing you bring something no one else can. Think about it like this: every interaction is a stage. You're the lead, not the extra. When I played Malcolm X, I didn't just memorize lines, I became the man. Every gesture, every pause, every look was calculated to command respect. You do the same in life. Dress sharp, not flashy. Speak clear, not loud. Move with purpose, not haste. People don't pay for your effort. They pay for the value they perceive. And perception, you control that. Here's how you apply it. Next time you're in a meeting, don't rush to prove yourself. Let others talk first. Watch their body language, catch their tone. When you speak, make it count: clear, concise, confident. In business, don't chase clients, make them feel they're earning your time. I once turned down a role that didn't feel right even when the money was good. Why? Because saying no signaled I valued my craft over quick cash. That move opened bigger doors later. Scarcity creates demand. Desperation kills it. Now, this ain't about faking it. You've got to back your presence with substance. Grind in private, shine in public. I spent years studying, rehearsing, failing, rebuilding. But when I stepped into the spotlight, I didn't let the world see the struggle, just the strength. You do the same. Work on your skills, your mindset, your vision. Then project only what elevates you. Don't overshare your doubts or hustle. Let your results whisper your worth. The psychology here is simple. People are drawn to what feels rare. When you act like you need their approval, you're common. When you move like you're already enough, you're magnetic. I've seen it in negotiations. Producers who thought they could lowball me suddenly scrambling to meet my terms because I didn't flinch. In your life, it's the same. Don't beg for raises. Show why you're worth more. Don't plead for respect. Command it with your actions. But here's the warning. Don't let this tip into arrogance. Confidence is quiet, ego is loud. I've met folks who thought shouting their worth made them valuable. Nah, it just made them noise. True presence is balanced, humble enough to learn, strong enough to lead. You don't force respect, you attract it by being undeniable. Let me give you a practical move. Next time you're pitching yourself, job, deal, whatever, pause before you answer a question. Count to 3 in your head. That tiny silence, it signals control. It makes them lean in, waiting for your words. Try it in a negotiation. State. Emotions are a fire, beautiful, powerful, but let them run wild, and they'll burn everything you've built. In the money game, losing your cool is like handing your opponent the playbook. I've been there, early in my career. When a director's critique felt like a punch, I wanted to fire back, defend my work, prove I was right. But I learned something. Reacting on impulse gives away your power. The moment you snap, sulk, or beg, someone else is already profiting off your weakness. The real winners, they stay calm when the world's screaming. They rise above the noise. Let me paint you a picture. I was on a set once, young, hungry, but getting pushed around by a producer who thought he could intimidate me. He threw shade, questioned my choices. My blood boiled, but I didn't bite. I nodded, took a breath, and kept my focus on the work. Later, that same producer pulled me aside, apologized, and offered me a bigger role. Why? Because my restraint showed strength he couldn't ignore. That's the game. Control your reactions, and you control the outcome. In the pursuit of wealth, emotions are the tax you pay if you're not disciplined. Think about a negotiation. Someone lowballs your offer. What's your move? If you get mad, you're defensive, and they've already won. If you panic, you're desperate, and they'll squeeze you harder. But if you stay steady, listen, and respond with calm logic, you flip the table. They start doubting their own position. That's not just strategy, that's power. Here's how it works in real life. You're pitching a business idea, and the investor starts poking holes. The amateur gets flustered, starts over-explaining, tripping over words. The pro, they pause, nod, and say, I hear you. Let me show you why this still works. That shift from reacting to redirecting changes everything. I've done it in boardrooms, on sets, even in personal life. When my kids push my buttons, I don't yell, I listen, then guide. That's how you build respect, not just results. The psychology behind this is deep. People are wired to read weakness, show fear, anger, or need, and they'll pounce. Show calm, and they hesitate. They start questioning themselves. I remember a time I was up for a role against bigger names. The casting director threw curveballs, testing my patience. I didn't flinch, just delivered my lines with precision. That role became mine, not because I was louder, but because I was steadier. In the money game, steadiness is your edge. Now, let's get practical. Next time someone challenges you, a boss, a client, a friend, don't jump to defend. Take a beat. Breathe. Let their words hang. Ask yourself, what's their angle? What do they want? Then respond, not react. If a client hesitates on your price, don't rush to lower it. Say, I understand your concern. Let's talk about the value I'm bringing. That pivot keeps you in the driver's seat. This isn't about suppressing what you feel. Feel the anger, the fear, the doubt, but don't let it own you. Emotions are signals, not commands. I felt the sting of rejection, the weight of failure, but I channel it into fuel. When I lost roles early on, I didn't sulk. I studied, trained, came back sharper. That's the mindset. Turn pain into power, chaos into clarity. Here's a story to drive it home. I was working on a film, long hours, high stakes. A co-star lost it on set, yelling, storming off over a small slight. The crew didn't respect him more, they trusted him less. Meanwhile, I stayed cool, kept working. By rap, who do you think the director leaned on for the next project? Not the hothead, the one who held it together. In the money game, consistency compounds. Every time you stay calm, you bank trust, influence, wealth. But there's a flip side. Don't mistake detachment for coldness. You're not a robot, you're a strategist. Care deeply, but act wisely. When I mentor young actors, I feel their struggle, but I don't coddle, I challenge. That balance builds respect, not resentment. In your life, it's the same. Don't shut down, step up. Use emotion to fuel your moves, not cloud them. One last tool, when the pressure's on, visualize yourself as the eye of the storm. Everything's swirling, deadlines, doubters, deals, but you're steady. Practice this daily. Next time you're triggered, count to 10, focus on your breath. Then decide, is this worth my energy? 9 times out of 10, it's not. Save that fire for what moves the needle. Your goals, your grind, your growth. Master your reactions, and you master the game. Money flows to those who don't flinch when the stakes are high. Be that person, the one who rises above the noise, who turns chaos into control. That's how you build a legacy that lasts. In this game, the loudest voice rarely wins. I've delivered lines that shook audiences, but the real power? It's in what I don't say. Silence is my weapon, and it's yours too. Early in my career, I'd see actors and execs trying to outtalk each other, spilling their plans, egos, insecurities. Me? I listened. I watched. I learned who was real, who was bluffing, who had the leverage. In the money game, the one who talks least holds the most power. Why? Because silence makes people reveal themselves. Picture this. I'm in a meeting with studio bigwigs pitching a project. They're throwing questions, trying to rattle me. I don't rush to answer. I lean back, nod, let the silence stretch. Suddenly, they're filling the gap, explaining themselves, showing their cards. That's not luck, that's strategy. Silence is psychological gravity. It pulls people into your orbit. The less you say, the more they hear. Let's break it down. In any deal, job, or hustle, talking too much is a leak. You're giving away your position, your fears, your next move. I remember a negotiation where a producer kept pushing, expecting me to oversell myself. I didn't. I stated my case. Short, sharp, done. He came back with a better deal. Why? Because my restraint made him question his own. In the money game, words are currency. Spend them wisely. Here's how it plays out in life. You're in a job interview and the boss asks a tough question. Most people ramble, trying to fill the air. You? Pause. Think. Answer with clarity. That pause shows confidence. It signals you're not scrambling. Or say you're pitching a business. Don't oversell the idea, state the value, then stop. Let them ask for more. I've closed deals by saying less, letting the other side chase clarity. Silence creates pressure, and pressure reveals truth. The psychology is simple. People fear the unknown. When you're quiet, they can't read you. They start guessing, overthinking, offering more to fill the void. I've seen it on set directors who underestimated me at first would double down on respect when I held my ground without a word. In your world, it's the same. Don't announce your plans, don't explain your hustle, let your moves speak. Results are louder than words. Now, let's get practical. Next time you're in a high-stakes moment, negotiation, argument, pitch count to 5 before you speak. Use that time to observe. What's their tone? Their body language? What are they not saying? Then respond, not react. If a client pushes back on your price, don't justify, say, let's talk about what this delivers. That shift keeps you in control. In personal life, same rule. Someone's testing you? Don't bite. Listen, process, respond with calm. You'll see them backtrack, unsure. Here's a story from my journey. I was up for a role, big opportunity, but the casting director was playing games, throwing shade to see if I'd crack. I didn't. I listened, nodded, delivered my read with focus. Later, they told me, you didn't flinch. That's why we picked you. That's the game. When you hold your tongue, you hold the power. People respect what they can't predict. But silence isn't just about shutting up. It's about seeing. When you listen, you catch what others miss. The insecurity behind a boast, the motive behind a question. I've built alliances by noticing what people value, not by guessing. In business, this means hearing what clients need before they say it. In life, it means reading the room, knowing who's with you, who's against you. Information is your edge. Silence is how you gather it. Don't get it twisted. This isn't about being passive. Silence with intent is active, sharp, deliberate. When I'm quiet, I'm not retreating, I'm calculating. You do the same. Use silence to study, strategize, strike when the moment's right. But when you speak, make it count. I've delivered lines that changed scenes because they were precise, not loud. Your words should cut like a blade, clean, clear, unforgettable. One warning, don't let silence become absence. If you're too quiet too long, you fade. Show up, engage, but choose your moments. In a meeting, wait till the chatter dies, then drop one insight that shifts the room. In a deal, let them talk themselves into your terms. Balance is key. Be present, but unpredictable. Here's a tool to practice. Next time you're in a group, challenge yourself to speak last. Listen to every word, every pause. You'll see patterns. Who's desperate? Who's confident? Who's hiding something? Then, when you speak, make it sharp, make it final. People will remember you as the one who said what mattered. That's leadership, not noise. In the money game, silence is your superpower. It's how you learn the rules others don't see. It's how you lead without shouting. It's how you win without begging. Listen more, lead stronger, because the quietest mind moves the loudest mountains. Generosity isn't weakness. It's a weapon when you wield it right. In the money game, giving isn't about losing. It's about planting seeds that grow into loyalty, trust, and power. I've spent years mentoring young actors, connecting people, sharing opportunities. Not because I'm soft, but because I know every act of value you give comes back stronger. The trick? Give with purpose, not impulse. Strategic generosity builds bonds that outlast transactions and bank accounts. Let me take you back. Early in my career, I was grinding, barely making it. A veteran actor saw my hustle and tossed me a small tip, not cash, but a connection to a director. That one move opened doors I couldn't have touched alone. Years later, when I had clout, I paid it forward-linked a young writer with a producer I knew. That writer's now a heavyweight, and guess who he calls first for projects? Me. That's the game. Give smart, and you gain more. In the pursuit of wealth, most people hoard opportunities, contacts, credit. They think keeping it all makes them rich. Wrong. Hoarding builds walls, giving builds bridges, but not reckless giving. Strategic giving. You don't hand out favors to everyone, you choose who's worth the investment. I've seen actors burn bridges by being selfish, but the ones who share, they're the ones who get called back. In business, it's the same. Help a client solve a problem before they ask, and they'll trust you for life. Give a colleague a lead, and they'll owe you one when it counts. Here's the psychology. People remember who lifts them up. When you give time, advice, a connection, you create a debt, not of money, but of pride. People want to repay you, not because they have to, but because their ego demands it. I once gave a co-star a shout-out in an interview, unprompted. Months later, he recommended me for a role I didn't even know about. That's not luck, that's leverage. In the money game, every smart give is an investment in your future. Let's make it practical. Say you're in a networking event. Don't just collect business cards. Connect two people who could help each other. I did this at a film festival once, introduced a director to a financier. Didn't ask for anything, just made it happen. A year later, both came back with an offer for me to star in their project. That's how you play. Give value, step back, let the universe repay you. In your workplace, share a resource with a coworker, but don't broadcast it. Let them feel the weight of your gesture quietly. That's how loyalty grows. Silent, strong, lasting. But here's the key. Give from strength, not need. If you're giving to fish for approval, you're not building bonds. You're begging. I've seen folks give too much, too fast, and it backfires. They seem desperate, not generous. Instead, be selective. Give to those who align with your goals, who show potential, who respect the game. When I mentor, I pick people with fire in their eyes, not just anyone who asks. In your life, do the same. Help those who will value it, not exploit it. Here's a story to lock this in. I was working on a film, tight budget, tense set. A young grip was struggling, overworked, unnoticed. I pulled him aside, gave him a few pointers on handling pressure, connected him with a mentor. Didn't make a show of it, just did it. Years later, that grip's a producer, and he's got my back on projects. That small act wasn't charity, it was chess. In the money game, every move counts. Your generosity shapes your alliances, your influence, your empire. Now, a warning, don't give what you can't afford to lose. Time, energy, resources. They're finite. I've made the mistake of overextending, helping folks who didn't value it. It drained me, taught me to be sharper. Give enough to inspire, not enough to be taken for granted. In business, this means offering a free consult, not free work. In life, it means supporting friends, not carrying them. Balance is your power. Find it. One tool to start with. Next time you see an opportunity to help, ask, does this align with my goals? Will it build something bigger? If yes, give, but quietly. Don't announce it, let the act echo. If a colleague needs a skill you have, teach them a piece of it. If a client's struggling, offer one insight that shifts their perspective. Those small, intentional acts, they're the bricks of your empire. Generosity, done right, is a masterstroke. It's not about losing, it's about gaining trust, loyalty, and leverage. In the money game, the smartest givers win because they know every seed planted today grows into a harvest tomorrow. Give with purpose and watch the world bend to repay you. You don't rise alone, but the wrong crew will sink you faster than any failure. I've been in this game long enough to know your circle is your mirror. The people you keep close don't just reflect your vibe, they shape your future. Early on, I hung with dreamers who talked big but did little. They drained my focus, clouded my vision. Then I found my tribe, folks with grit, vision, discipline. Directors, writers, hustlers who pushed me to level up. That's when I started winning. In the money game, your allies aren't just friends, they're your fortress. Choose them like your life depends on it. Let me take you back. I was young, scrapping for roles, surrounded by folks who loved the idea of success, but not the work. They'd complain, make excuses, pull me into their drama. I had to cut ties, not out of coldness, but clarity. I linked up with a mentor, a director who saw my hunger and matched it with wisdom. He didn't coddle me, he challenged me. That connection changed my trajectory. In the money game, one right ally can save you a decade of struggle. Here's the deal. Humans are contagious. Their mindsets, habits, energy, they rub off. Surround yourself with complainers, and you'll start seeing limits. Roll with builders, and you'll see possibilities. I've seen actors sabotage themselves with jealous friends, and I've seen others soar by aligning with doers. Your circle isn't just who you know, it's who you become. In business, a partner with complementary skills can double your reach. In life, a friend who holds you accountable keeps you sharp. Let's break it down. Most people collect contacts like trophies, bragging about their network. That's noise, not power. Influence comes from quality, not quantity. One ally with credibility, like a mentor who opens doors, beats 100 acquaintances who just talk. I once partnered with a producer who wasn't flashy but had integrity. His word carried weight, and it pulled me into rooms I couldn't access alone. That's the game. Align with people who amplify your strengths, not your stress. Now, how do you build that circle? Start with intention. Seek out those who share your drive, but bring something you lack. When I started directing, I leaned on editors and cinematographers who knew more than me. I didn't compete, I collaborated. In your world, it's the same. In a job, bond with the colleague who gets results, not the one who's loudest. In business, partner with someone who fills your gaps, say, a tech mind if you're a visionary. In life, keep friends who challenge your excuses, not enable them. Here's a practical move. Audit your circle. Write down the 5 people you spend the most time with. Ask, do they inspire me? Push me? Respect my hustle? If not, start pulling back. You don't need to cut them off cold. Just create space for stronger connections. I did this when I realized some buddies were more about partying than progress. I still cared, but I prioritized folks who matched my grind. That shift was a game changer. The psychology here is real. Loyalty is earned through pressure, not promises. Test people in small ways before you trust them big. I've given small opportunities to new allies, say, a chance to pitch an idea, and watched how they handled it. Did they deliver? Respect my time? That's how you spot the real ones. In the money game, one flaky partner can cost you years. Choose those who show up when it's tough, not just when it's easy. Let me tell you a story. I was working on a film, high stakes, tight deadline. A co-star was all charm in public, but dropped the ball on set. Meanwhile, a quiet crew member, no spotlight, always delivered, early, prepared, focused. I pulled him into my next project, and he's been a rock ever since. That's the lesson. Bet on character, not charisma. In your life, pick allies who act, not just talk. But here's the warning. Even strong allies need balance. No one's perfect, and every relationship must serve both sides. I've had mentors who gave me wisdom, but I gave back respect, hustle, results. If one side feels used, the bond breaks. Be generous, but guarded. Share value, but don't overshare your plans. I've learned to keep my big moves quiet, even with close allies, until they're done. That's not distrust, it's discipline. One tool to start with: next time you meet someone with potential, test their alignment. Share a small idea, see how they respond. Do they add value? Ignore it, steal it, that's your data. Build with those who lift the vision, not leech off it. In networking, introduce two people who could benefit each other, then watch who reciprocates. That's how you find your tribe. Your circle shapes your success. Surround yourself with strength, people who challenge you, not coddle you, who sharpen you, not slow you. In the money game, your allies are your arsenal. Choose them wisely, and they'll carry you to heights you can't reach alone. The world doesn't see your heart, it sees your hustle. I've played kings, warriors, heroes, but off-screen I had to learn the same truth. People judge what you project, not what you feel. In the money game, your image isn't vanity, it's strategy. You can be the hardest worker, the smartest mind, but if you don't show it right, you're invisible. I've walked into rooms where my presence alone shifted the vibe, not because I'm special, but because I learned to project strength, not struggle. Let me take you back. Early in my career, I auditioned for a role I wanted bad. I was prepared, but nervous, oversharing, trying too hard to seem real. I didn't get it. Later, a mentor pulled me aside. "Denzel, stop explaining, show them who you are." Next audition, I walked in focused, spoke less, let my performance talk. Got the part. That's when I got it. Perception opens doors that truth alone can't. In the money game, how you present yourself is your first pitch. People make snap judgments, confident or shaky, leader or follower. I've seen actors with half my skill land roles because they walked in like they owned the place. It's not about lying, it's about directing the lens. You don't hide your flaws, you highlight your strengths. When I played Alonzo in Training Day, every move was calculated to project power, even when the character was crumbling inside. You do the same. Show the world what serves your goal. Here's how it works. You're in a job interview, and the hiring manager's scanning you. Slouch, fidget, talk too much. You're done. Stand tall, lock eyes, speak with precision. You're a contender. I've negotiated deals where my calm tone and steady gaze made execs rethink their offers. In business, your brand's image logo, pitch, vibe, sets the tone before your product does. In life, your posture, your words, your energy tell people whether you're a player or a passerby. The psychology is brutal but real. Humans trust what looks strong. If you seem uncertain, they'll doubt your worth, even if you're a genius. I've seen brilliant folks overlooked because they didn't know how to shine. Meanwhile, average players with sharp presentation, clean website, tight pitch, confident vibe, close deals. That's why I'm meticulous about my craft, my look, my delivery, not for ego, for impact. You've got to be the same. Let's get practical. Start with your daily presence. Dress one notch above the room, not flashy, but sharp. I wear suits that fit, not just to look good, but to feel ready. In meetings, speak once, but make it count clear, no fluff. I once pitched a film idea to a room of suits, didn't oversell, just laid out the vision, let my track record back it. They bought in. Why? Because I projected certainty, not chaos. Here's a story to drive it home. I was up for a big role, competing with heavyweights. I knew I had the chops, but so did they. I walked in, no nerves showing, delivered my read like it was already mine. The casting director later said, "You made us believe you were the guy." That's the game. Belief starts with what you show. In your world, it's the same. Launching a business? Make your brand look like it's already winning. Clean design, confident tone. Job hunting? Walk in like you're interviewing them. Perception isn't deceit, it's direction. Now, a tool, practice controlled transparency. Share enough to build trust, hide enough to keep intrigue. I don't tell the world my struggles until I've turned them into wins. You do the same. Don't post your doubts online, share your victories. Don't vent in meetings, offer solutions. When I mentor, I share stories of overcoming, not failing. That's what inspires strength, not struggle. But here's the warning. Image without substance is a house of cards. I've seen folks fake it till they break. Flashy cars, empty promises. They crash fast. Your projection must be backed by work. I spend hours studying scripts, building characters, so when I step on set, my confidence is real. You do the same grind in private, shine in public. Build skills, stack wins, then let your image amplify them. One more move, refine your pitch. Whether it's a job, a deal, or a dream, boil it down to one sentence that screams value. Mine might be, I deliver stories that move the world. What's yours? Practice it, own it, let it guide how you present yourself. In every room, every email, every post project your best, and let your actions back it up. In the money game, perception is your ticket. Craft it with care, back it with hustle, and watch doors fly open. You're not just selling yourself, you're building a legacy that commands respect. Your time is your most precious asset, and if you give it away cheap, the world will treat you the same. In the money game, availability is a trap. Be too open, and you're taken for granted. I learned this the hard way. Early on, I said yes to every meeting, every call, thinking it'd get me ahead. It didn't. It drained me, diluted my focus. Then I started saying no politely, firmly, strategically. Suddenly, people valued my time more. They chased me, not the other way around. That's the rule. Set boundaries, create scarcity, and watch your worth skyrocket. Let me tell you a story. I was offered a role, decent money, but it didn't align with my vision. I turned it down, no explanation, just a calm, thanks, but I'm focused elsewhere. The producer came back with a better offer, a better project. Why? Because my no signaled. I wasn't desperate. In the money game, scarcity isn't just a tactic, it's a signal of value. The less you're available, the more you're desired. Here's how it plays out. You're running a business, and a client wants your time, endless calls, last-minute demands. Say yes to everything, and they'll run you ragged. Set boundaries, clear hours, firm responses, and they'll respect your process. I've seen it in Hollywood. Actors who are always available get overlooked. Those who are selective get pursued. It's not arrogance, it's economics. Your time is a luxury good price. It right. The psychology is simple. People crave what's rare. If you're always there, texting first, jumping at every opportunity, your value drops. But when you pull back, say no, make people wait, they lean in. They wonder why you're so selective, what makes you so confident. I've turned down meetings that didn't serve my goals, and it's led to bigger offers. Why? Because distance creates demand. In your life, it's the same. Don't chase. Let the right opportunities chase you. Let's get practical. Start saying no to low-value demands. A colleague wants you to join a project that's a time suck. Politely decline. I'm focused on my priorities right now, but let's connect later. A client pushes for free work. Counter with, here's what I can deliver at this rate. I once told the studio I couldn't meet their rush timeline. They adjusted their schedule to fit mine. That's power born from boundaries. Here's a story to lock it in. I was mentoring a young actor, talented but overcommitted, taking every gig, answering every call. He was burned out, undervalued. I told him, say no to half of it. Pick what aligns with your dream. He did, started turning down small roles for bigger auditions. Within a year, he landed a lead. Why? Because he valued his time, and the world followed suit. In the money game, your boundaries set your price. Now, the psychology deeper, distance creates curiosity. When you're not always available, people wonder what you're working on, why you're so focused. That intrigue pulls them in. I've delayed responses to emails, not out of rudeness, but to signal my time's premium. The result? People respect my input more. In your world, try it. Don't answer texts instantly. Wait an hour, respond sharp. Watch how people start valuing your attention. But don't get it twisted. Boundaries aren't about being cold. They're about respect for your goals, your energy, your legacy. I'm approachable, but I'm not always open. I'll mentor, but only when it fits my mission. You do the same. Be present for what matters. Family, key deals, big dreams, but guard the rest. In business, this means setting clear terms. I'm available for calls, Tuesday mornings. In life, it means carving out time for you, your growth, your peace. One warning, don't overdo distance. If you're too unavailable, you risk fading out. Balance is key. Show up enough to stay relevant, pull back enough to stay respected. I make time for key allies, big projects, but I'm ruthless with distractions. You've got to be too. Say no to meetings that don't move the needle. Skip events that don't align. Protect your focus like it's your bank account. Here's a tool. Create a priority filter. Before you say yes to anything, job, favor, coffee chat, ask, does this get me closer to my goal? If not, pass. I use this daily. If a project doesn't spark my passion or build my legacy, I let it go. Try it for a week, track your yeses and nos. You'll see how much energy you save, how much power you gain. In the money game, your time is your capital. Value it, guard it, and watch how the world adjusts. Create demand by being selective, and wealth, money, respect, opportunity will chase you. Set boundaries, and you set the rules. Real power doesn't shout, it moves in silence. I've played loud characters, but in life, my biggest wins came when I stayed quiet, focused, unstoppable. The money game rewards those who don't need to flaunt, who build in the shadows and let results roar. Early on, I wanted to tell the world my plans, prove I was next. But I learned the loud get noticed, the quiet get feared. When you're unreadable, unpredictable, you hold the edge. That's the final rule. Harness the quiet power and dominate from within. Let me take you to a moment. I was up for a major role, high stakes, big names in the mix. Everyone was hustling, pitching themselves, showing off. I stayed back, observed, worked on my craft in private. When I walked in, I didn't sell. I showed. My read was sharp, my vibe calm. I got the part not because I was louder, but because I was steadier. In the money game, quiet strength is your ultimate weapon. Here's how it works. The world's noisy people posting every move, chasing clout, begging for attention. That's weakness. The real players move silent, let their work speak. I've closed deals without hyping my plans, built films without leaking scripts. Why? Because mystery creates power. When people can't predict you, they respect you. They wonder what's coming next. In business, don't announce your startup till it's ready. In life, don't broadcast your goals. Execute, then reveal. The psychology is deep, silence unnerves. When you don't react to provocation, don't brag about wins, don't explain your moves, people start second-guessing themselves. I've been in negotiations where I said little, just listened. The other side got nervous, offered more. Why? Because my quiet signaled control. In your world, it's the same. Don't argue with a critic, let them stew. Don't boast about your hustle, let your results shut them up. Let's get practical. Next time someone pushes your buttons, a boss, a rival, don't fire back. Pause, smile, say something short, I hear you. Then keep moving. That restraint shifts the power. In a deal, don't oversell your idea state. Stop, let them come to you. I once pitched a film to a studio, laid out the vision in 2 minutes, then went quiet. They filled the silence with questions, then offers. That's the game, less noise, more control. Here's a story to lock it in. I was directing a project, tight budget, high pressure. A producer kept micromanaging, trying to rattle me. I didn't argue, just nodded, kept working, delivered on time. Later, he admitted, your calm scared me. I knew you had it handled. That's quiet power. When you don't flinch, others fall in line. In the money game, your calm is their chaos. Use it. Now, the tool, practice strategic silence daily. In a meeting, wait till others speak, then drop one sharp insight. In a conflict, hold your response for an hour. Decide if it's worth your energy. I do this when critics come at me. I don't clap back, I let my work answer. Try it. Next time you're tempted to overshare on social media, in a chat, hold back. Share only what strengthens your position. That discipline builds your aura. But here's the warning. Silence without intent is just absence. Don't hide, strategize. I'm quiet, but I'm present. I show up, deliver, then step back. You do the same. Be in the room, but be untouchable. Speak when it matters. Act when it counts. In business, this means launching with precision, not hype. In life, it means moving with purpose, not drama. The psychology deeper, people fear what they can't read. When you're calm under pressure, you're a mystery. I've walked onto sets where chaos reigned, but my steady vibe reset the room. You can do this too. In a crisis, be the one who doesn't panic. In a deal, be the one who doesn't budge. That quiet power, it's what makes legends. One more story. I was mentoring a young actor, talented but loud, always proving himself. I told him, stop talking, start showing. He took it to heart, started working in silence, focusing on his craft. A year later, he landed a breakout role. Why? Because he became undeniable, not by shouting, but by shining. In the money game, your quiet hustle builds louder wins. Here's how you start. Every day, choose one moment to stay silent when you normally speak. A debate, a pitch, a post, hold back, observe, act only when it's right. Watch how people react when you don't give them what they expect. They'll chase your input, respect your presence. That's dominance. Not from noise, but from within. In the money game, quiet power is your trump card. It's the calm that commands, the focus that conquers. Move like a shadow, strike like a storm. Let the world guess while you build. That's how you dominate. Not by shouting, but by being so strong, so steady, that your silence speaks louder than their noise. You've heard the truth. 8 lessons carved from the fire of life. This isn't just about money, it's about power, purpose, legacy. I've walked this path from auditions to awards, from setbacks to summits, and I'm telling you, the world doesn't hand you wins, you claim them. You forge them, you fight for them with every ounce of discipline, every shred of focus, every silent move that shifts the game in your favor. You're not here to beg for a seat. You're here to build your own table, own your presence, like I did when doors slammed in my face. Master your reactions, like I learned when rejection tried to break me. Listen more, give smart, choose allies who sharpen your edge. Project strength, guard your time, and harness the quiet power that makes the world bend to you. These aren't just rules, they're your blueprint to conquer. I've seen too many dreamers drown in hope without action. Don't be them. The money game, the life game, it's not about fairness, it's about execution. Stop waiting for permission. Stop chasing approval. Start building your skills, your network, your empire. Every step you take with purpose, every moment you stay steady, you're crafting a legacy that echoes beyond you. Tomorrow, when you step into the world, don't move like a player hoping for luck. Move like a king claiming your ground. You've got the fire, the tools, the vision. Now use them. Say it with me. I own the game. I win on my terms. Let that burn in your soul. Let it guide every choice, every hustle, every dream. This is your moment. The throne's empty, not because no one's worthy, but because so few dare to take it. So take it. Build quietly, love fiercely, grind relentlessly, let your results roar where others only talk. The world's watching, show them who you are. Peace.